Wayne Carini, the famous car restoration expert from Chasing Classic Cars, has always kept a lot of his personal life private. For years, fans have been curious about his health, his business, and what happens behind the scenes. Recently, Wayne shared something that shocked a lot of people, leaving fans wondering, what's really going on? In an unexpected turn, Wayne Carini breaks his silence and reveals the truth. Why is he speaking out now? Is it about his work, his family, or something else? What he revealed was not what anyone expected. What did Wayne say, and how will it affect his future in the car world? "I haven't shared much about my struggles, but it's time to be honest," Wayne Carini said. "My health, finances, and some legal issues have been tough on me. I know people have been talking, so I want my fans to hear it from me. The truth isn't easy, but I'm dealing with it. This isn't the end of my story, it's just the next chapter." Before diving into this, let's take a look at Wayne Carini's background to understand the journey that led him here. The popular television show, Chasing Classic Cars, captivated car enthusiasts all over the world with its in-depth look at rare and valuable vintage vehicles. Car enthusiasts eagerly tuned in each week to watch the exciting discovery and restoration of rare vehicles on the 13-year-old show, which became a mainstay. The show, which was hosted by famed classic car expert Wayne Carini, gave viewers a genuine inside look at the world of classic car collecting. The program followed Carini and his crew as they searched barns, garages, and private collections for hidden car treasures throughout the United States and abroad. Carini revived abandoned cars with his vast knowledge and excellent sense of value, bringing them back to their former beauty, before displaying them at esteemed auctions or giving them back to ardent owners. Wayne Carini's lifelong love of cars developed in him at a young age. Wayne grew up in a world where cars were more than just tools, they were historical artifacts and works of art, because his family was heavily involved in the classic car industry. His father, Robert "Bob" Carini, owned and ran a collision repair and restoration shop in Glastonbury, Connecticut, and was a well-known figure in the car restoration industry. Wayne was exposed to some of the most coveted vintage vehicles of the 20th century by his father. Wayne had a life-changing event when he was 9 years old, which solidified his passion for classic cars. His lifelong interest in the world of vintage cars began when his father let him drive a 1960 Ferrari 250 Berlinetta. Wayne, in contrast to most kids his age, was fascinated by the engineering, history, and craftsmanship of these amazing cars, in addition to enjoying driving. Wayne's involvement in the family business grew as he got older. He began actively searching for, buying, and restoring vintage cars on his own when he was 16 years old. His father, who co-founded the Model A Restorers Car Club of America in 1952, was instrumental in forming his area of expertise. Wayne's admiration for the painstaking craftsmanship of vintage cars was further enhanced by the numerous trips he took with his father to car dealerships and auctions. Wayne briefly explored other career options, but he kept returning to the world of old cars. He spent his formative years studying every aspect of car restoration, which would later be the cornerstone of his career success. It wasn't an easy road for Wayne Carini to become one of the most well-known names in classic car restoration. He first considered becoming an art teacher and attended Central Connecticut State University to earn a degree in art education. He soon encountered an internal conflict, though, as his love of cars persisted despite his appreciation of the artistic side of teaching. Bob Carini made a crucial choice when he offered Wayne the chance to take over half of the family business after realizing his son's undeniable talent. Wayne was initially uncertain about his desire to devote himself entirely to a career in the automotive sector, but in the end, his enthusiasm prevailed, and he accepted the offer. Wayne got to know Jim Ostrowski, a seasoned pro in the vintage car industry, during this transition. Wayne had great potential, and Jim helped him learn the art of hunting for valuable vintage cars. Wayne's position in the world of classic cars was further cemented when he was able to connect with a select group of collectors, restorers, and auctioneers through Jim. Wayne was passionate about approaching auto restoration with an emphasis on authenticity rather than showmanship, in contrast to many others in the field. Wayne remained dedicated to maintaining the integrity of each vehicle, making sure that every car he worked on retained its historical significance. In contrast to some restorers who placed a higher value on flashiness, Wayne Carini's intense love for vintage cars and his exceptional knack for finding hidden treasures gave rise to the concept for chasing classic cars. Wayne and his longtime mentor, Jim Ostrowski, came up with the idea for a show that would honor the craftsmanship and history of vintage cars without using needless drama. Chasing Classic Cars provided an unvarnished and natural look at the process of finding, restoring, and selling rare cars. In contrast to many reality TV programs that depended on contrived conflicts and inflated narratives, Wayne's sincere, first-time responses to the cars he saw were among the show's most distinctive features. His passion and skill were always apparent, whether he was restoring a vintage Rolls-Royce or finding a long-lost Ferrari in a dusty barn. The program immediately attracted a devoted following and received positive reviews. Both Wayne's straightforward demeanor and the amazing array of cars on the show drew in viewers. Roger Barr, a talented mechanic and childhood friend of Wayne's, joined him during the run of the show. His technical knowledge gave Wayne invaluable insights into the restoration process. The series gained more authenticity from Wayne and Roger's friendship, which made them even more likable to viewers. Chasing Classic Cars ended abruptly after 17 seasons, despite its popularity. Because the final season was so brief, just 5 episodes, fans were perplexed by the abrupt cancellation of the program. There was a lot of conjecture regarding the reasons behind Chasing Classic Cars' sudden cancellation. The 1934 Pierce Arrow Coupe lawsuit was one of the most talked-about theories involving legal disputes. Wayne Carini's business dealings were brought to light by this case, which involved claims of improper ownership transfers. Transparency issues were also raised by reports that some of the cars on the show were resold at auction, without complete disclosure of their condition. Rumors of network interference also surfaced. The show's demise might have also been influenced by financial risks in the vintage car market. The process of restoring vintage cars is costly, and as the value of these vehicles fluctuated, it became more and more challenging to maintain the business model portrayed in the series. Despite having a generally good reputation throughout his career, Wayne Carini had a number of legal issues that clouded his business dealings. The 1934 Pierce Arrow Coupe case was one of the most important court cases. Originally owned by Australian collector Robert Richmond, the car was supposed to be shipped to Australia but ended up going through several ownership changes. Wayne was unaware that he was involved in a complicated ownership dispute when he purchased the vehicle through his business, Gullwing Motors. Even though Wayne was eventually found to have acted in good faith, the controversy still damaged his reputation when the case went to trial. A 2010 Lamborghini Gallardo that was sold through Wayne's company, F40 Motorsports, was the subject of another noteworthy incident. Later, the buyer claimed that the car was missing some necessary accessories, accusing the company of deceptive advertising. Although the disagreement was ultimately settled through court negotiations, it added to the impression that Wayne's business dealings were not always free of controversy. Wayne Carini is still regarded as a very respected member of the classic car community in spite of these difficulties. Unquestionably, his knowledge, enthusiasm, and commitment to conserving automotive history have had a significant impact on the sector. Wayne's legacy as a collector, restorer, and television personality continues to inspire auto enthusiasts worldwide, despite the fact that Chasing Classic Cars is no longer broadcast. In addition to being a tale of business and television success, Wayne Carini's journey in the world of classic cars is also a very personal one of love, devotion, and charity. His steadfast devotion to his family, his charitable endeavors, and his ongoing love of vintage cars characterize his life away from chasing classic cars. His impact goes well beyond television since he continues to play a big role in the car restoration sector and uses his position to advocate for worthy causes. In addition to having a prosperous career, Wayne Carini has kept up a steady and satisfying personal life. He got married Lori Carini in 1980, and the two have had a long and enduring relationship that has endured the strains of a prominent career and the passage of time. Wayne and Lori's marriage has been a testament to understanding and support for one another, in contrast to many public figures whose personal lives are frequently turbulent. As Wayne devoted himself to his love of cars, Lori was crucial in giving him support and stability as he dealt with the difficulties of the automotive industry and his growing notoriety. When one of the couple's two daughters was diagnosed with autism, their family life took a very personal turn. Wayne's perspective on what really matters outside of business and television was greatly influenced by this life-altering event. Wayne's commitment to his daughter's welfare as a father extended well beyond meeting her basic needs. He actively participated in the autism community and looked for methods to assist other families dealing with comparable difficulties. His resolve to make a significant contribution to autism research and awareness initiatives was strengthened by his experiences as a parent of a child with autism. Wayne's charitable work in autism advocacy is one way he has given back to the community. He has actively supported autism research organizations and taken part in a number of charitable events to raise money and awareness for autism-related causes. Because he understands the power of his influence, he has dedicated his life to making sure that other families can get the help and resources they require because he understands the emotional and financial strains that come with raising a child with autism. He has organized multiple classic car events to raise awareness and funds for autism research, demonstrating his dedication to the cause. Through these gatherings, he has united the car community and used its love of vintage vehicles to significantly improve the lives of those with autism. Wayne has left a sizable financial legacy in addition to his philanthropic activities, which have constituted a significant portion of his personal life. Through his numerous business endeavors and success on television, he has accumulated a net worth of about $25 million over the years. His wealth, however, is not just a result of his financial success. Rather, it is evidence of his lifelong commitment to restoring vintage cars and his capacity to transform his hobby into a successful business. Wayne has always put his passion for cars first, in contrast to many who strive for financial success, and his accomplishments have come naturally as a result of his dedication to excellence in the industry. The companies Wayne Carini has owned and run have been instrumental in establishing his reputation in the vintage car sector, and they are largely responsible for his success. One of his most prominent business endeavors is F40 Motorsports, which specializes in the restoration and marketing of vintage automobiles. Wayne has assisted enthusiasts and collectors in obtaining some of the most sought-after vintage cars worldwide through F40 Motorsports. His painstaking attention to detail and extensive knowledge of automotive history have established the business as a reliable brand in the sector. Wayne has also run a classic car dealership, Continental Auto Limited, which has enabled him to match buyers with valuable and uncommon vehicles. Because of his proficiency in recognizing distinctive automobiles and determining their historical significance, Continental Auto Limited is a well-known brand among collectors. By giving them access to some of the best cars available, he has continued to stoke the passion of auto enthusiasts through this business. Wayne Carini's career and enthusiasm for vintage cars are still very much alive and well, even after Chasing Classic Cars ended. His career in the automotive industry has never been reliant on television, despite the fact that the show gave him a devoted following and broad recognition. He was heavily involved in the world of classic car restoration long before the cameras began to roll, and he is still doing well in the industry years after the show ended. Despite the passing of time, Wayne's passion for restoring and selling rare vintage cars has never diminished. He is still a major player in the field, and collectors, museums, and auction houses all highly value his expertise. In addition to bringing cars back to their former splendor, he works to ensure that their historical significance is maintained for upcoming generations. Wayne sees restoration as an art form, a chance to bring automotive masterpieces back to life. In contrast to many who see it as just a mechanical procedure, he regularly attends some of the most prominent events in the world of classic cars, so his presence at automotive events and auctions is still strong. Wayne frequently appears at prestigious events like the Barrett-Jackson auctions, Amelia Island Concours, and Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. He is a well-respected authority in the field due to his extensive knowledge and experience, and his opinions on the market trends and values of vintage cars are highly valued. His professional pursuits remain centered around F40 Motorsports. Wayne has stayed committed to the painstaking work of upscale restorations even after the television cameras stopped following him. In order to provide classic car enthusiasts with access to expertly restored vehicles, his shop continues to handle some of the most exquisite vehicles in the world. F40 Motorsports has maintained its outstanding reputation thanks to his hands-on approach and meticulous attention to detail. Even though Chasing Classic Cars' cancellation signaled the end of an era, Wayne Carini's impact on the classic car community is still very much alive and well. His impact on the field extends well beyond what was broadcast on television. He has had a major influence on the field, motivating upcoming generations of collectors, enthusiasts, and restorers. He continues to set the bar for classic car restoration with his love of cars, dedication to quality, and unwavering commitment to authenticity.